this particular agency was now looking to work with business authors, essentially letting them know that they could use the same content from their books or the same context from their book and repurpose that content in addition to helping them grow their LinkedIn presence, ultimately leading to more book sales. And so what we did within this clay table was I first built a scraper. And as you can see, this was the website that I scraped right here. And this website's basically just a list of business books that have recently been released or are about to be released. Within that scraper, I specifically was looking for the book titles as well as the book authors, right? So we have that information. We're able to scrape that. We're able to scrape that information, pull that into Clay. As you can see, that information would all be inside here: book title, um, contributors, which would be authors. And so once we had that information, the next thing that I needed to do was enrich the information. So I needed to find contact information for the book authors, right? So as you can see, I have the full names of the book authors here. And what I then did was I just used a pretty simple web scraper within Clay to find me contact information for all of the authors that we had. And so as you can see here, they brought back author contact emails as well as author contact LinkedIn. From there, what I did was I used ChatGPT and I basically prompted it to use the description of the author's book, which can be found here, and bring us back 3 LinkedIn posts based off of the context of that author's book. All right. And so obviously these LinkedIn posts were formatted and prompted within a way that this particular agency writes their LinkedIn content. And as you can see here, we got our 3 LinkedIn posts, right? We got 1, 2, and 3. And so now that we had our LinkedIn post, what I then needed to do was write the emails for those authors, right? That we're also going to include these LinkedIn posts for the author to get just an understanding or an outlook of what this agency is capable of doing. And so same thing, ChatGPT integration prompted it to bring me back the specific kind of emails that we're looking for. And so as you can see here, we have our subject lines as well as our emails right here, right? And so if we click into one of the emails, as you can see here, this isn't a campaign. This is just a sample that I'm using to give an explanation. As you can see here, hey Alan, hope you're just going well. Reaching out from Author Repurposed about your book Seen, Heard, and Paid. Tell us a little bit about what this agency does. To give you an idea, we created a few posts for you to check out. And then it adds the post that we automatically created for this agency. So they didn't have to do any of this work manually. It adds the post into the email that's being sent so the book author can get an idea. Then it ends with the call to action, right? Would you be interested in testing this out for a month on the house, whatever the specific call to action is that we're testing at the moment? So all of this done at scale for this agency without them needing to lift a finger, right? As you can imagine, if they were doing this themselves, they would then have to create a list of books that are coming out. We automatically did that for them, right? They would have to find the contact information for the authors of those books. That would take hours, right? We automatically did that for them as well too, right? They would then have to write LinkedIn posts if they wanted to use that as a lead magnet for each of those authors, right? That's another process that we streamlined, automated, didn't have to do manually. And then they would also have to write the emails, right? Personalizing each of these emails to go out to the authors. That's another process that we automatically did for them, right? So in this one here, we have about 25 of them. This process may have took me, I'm going to say probably about an hour at most to do. And as you add more to it, the time doesn't really expand that much, right? So just to give you guys an idea of some of the campaigns that we're running for outreach, cold outreach, but also still making it personalized, saving the businesses that we're working with hours per month, hours per week. If they were trying to run these campaigns and doing them manually. So yeah, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out and let me know.